Dean Thomas here, and I'm here with a very interesting character, something that's very dear to me, a person very dear to me that I'd like to get a little information from, a boxing trainer from Boston by the name of Alex Rivera. Before we get into some of the details that I want to talk about, first I want to talk about your experience at the Boston UFC Expo so far.
Oh, this is great, man. I mean, this is one of a lifetime experience. It's like going to the Super Bowl, going to the Expo. It's unbelievable.
Now, you're a boxing trainer. What is your experience so far with MMA?
You know, I'm a hardcore boxing fan, but you always gotta evolve and you know, move with new things. And I love the MMA. I was talking to the people here a little while ago. You know, I don't know what James Stone is looking for. An MMA fighter got a bag full of tricks. We were talking before. I think he only has one shot at this. You know.
Yeah, understood. Now, what makes you so interesting, and especially interesting to me, is that you actually trained Ricardo Mayorga. Tell us a little bit about Ricardo Mayorga.
I work a little bit with Mayorga for the Shea Mosley fight. He's a character, but you know, what you see in the cameras, that's how he is. Mayorga is just a character, man.
And how do you evaluate his boxing skills?
Natural punching power. His power is natural. All the knockouts he has, you know, real knockouts on real people. He's a power puncher. Not a lot of technique, you know, but a lot of power.
You have any, without going too graphic, have any interesting stories that you could tell that you had experience with Ricardo Mayorga?
Yeah, like I was talking earlier. We're in New York watching a fight, and we're in a bar having a drink, and we're just talking, you know, having a beer, and he gets up, smacked me in the face, and out of reaction, because I'm a boxer too, I got up and I smacked him back, and he fell in love with me after I did that.
Quite the character. Now, you know, I was going to fight Ricardo Mayorga. I'm a mixed martial artist. He's a boxer. Who do you think would have won that fight between me and Ricardo Mayorga?
Wow, he put me on the spot.
Put you on the spot without even knowing me.
You know what? I'm a boxing guy. I own a gym, Rivera Brothers Boxing. I trained Johnny Ruiz, the heavyweight champion, first Latino heavyweight champion of the world for a few years, 5 years. And I love boxing, but I gotta say, man, a boxer got this, an MMA fighter got this, and those. So an MMA fighter always is gonna have an advantage because they have a bag full of tricks. We only have our hands, you know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be hard for a straight boxer to beat an MMA guy. Now, on the other hand, if we switch it around and Couture had to fight James Stoney on a boxing match, who you think is gonna win?
Well, I'll tell you right now, I think Couture wouldn't last more than 10 seconds. He'd probably be carried out on a stretcher.
All right, we're on the same page.
Now,
You didn't answer the question. Who would have won?
yeah, but who would have? Yeah, who would have won?
I gotta say, dude.
You guys heard it there first. Alex Rivera.
I gotta say, dude. I gotta say it.
Now, going into it, obviously you think that that Randy Couture has the advantages over James Toney, so we're not going to really talk about that. How about some of the other fights? I'm sure that you study a little bit of mixed martial arts. How do you think the fight between BJ Penn and Frankie Edgar is going to go?
I tell you one thing. It was a close fight. I thought it was very close. To me, I think BJ Penn underestimated Edgar a little bit. He was a little bit timid. Edgar looked like he had more fire than BJ, you know what I'm saying? But it's always, like I say with rematch, you know, when the champion loses. Like I said before, I think he underestimated him. I think he's going to clean the floor with Edgar this time. I got BJ Penn.
From a professional boxing coach's standpoint, who in MMA has good boxing?
You know, the Diaz brothers, they got good boxing. GSP, He got great boxing. A guy from here, the Irish hand grenade, Marcus Davis. I had the pleasure to work with him on the pads for a little bit, and he was a boxer before. He was an MMA fighter, and also Kenny Florian, good friend of mine. Great hands.
Now that's interesting because Marcus Davis is actually going to be fighting Nate Diaz tonight. Who's your prediction in that fight?
I tell you one thing, look for those guys to stay up and trade punches. Nate Diaz, good boxer. Marcus Davis, good boxer. I think it's gonna be a great fight. They're gonna trade punches, and I really don't see it going to the floor. I really don't, because those guys got great hands, and when you can punch, you want to stay up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you something for all those fans out there. The guy who I want to put my hands on and I want to train is Brock Lesnar, because I was a wrestler just like him. I would love to work with Brock because I know he has his hands full with Velasquez. Velasquez is another guy that tremendous hands. And I think that Brock, with good boxing, nobody will beat him. Nobody.
Now you train here out of Boston.
Out of Boston.
Tell us a little bit about your academy. Where is it and how can people get to it?
Yeah, I run a non-profit organization. I usually take kids out of the streets and gangs and stuff. You can check us out on RiveraBrothersBoxing.com. My email, riverabrothers5@aol.com. You know, we take kids out of the street and we help them out. You know, I go to schools and talk about drugs and alcohol. I have a few national champions, a few world champions in boxing. I love what I do, and when you love what you do, you try to be the best at it, you know, because it comes normal to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, y'all heard it here first on The Next Great Fighter. I'm Dean Thomas, and we are your official MMA social network.